Maybe last night you needed some rare armor or a bit of gold for your level 65 Draenei warrior. So you hopped on eBay, you did a little search, you found nothing, right? Well, here's a little bit more behind the controversy. Chances are if you play an MMO like World of Warcraft or Second Life, you're familiar with the practice of buying virtual goods with real-world money. Gold, in-game items, and characters, it's all for sale through third-party websites and even up for bid on eBay. This practice rakes in hundreds of millions of dollars worldwide for goods that don't actually exist in the real world. Now comes word that eBay has banned the practice of selling the virtual goods and has delisted all of the related auctions. eBay cites concerns about fraud for their customers over items that don't exist and no one really owns. eBay spokesperson Hani Durzi said, quote, "Any policy decision we make has to do with basically a good buyer experience and a good experience on the site." But eBay has a much different opinion about goods from the virtual world of Second Life. They're allowing the sale of items because eBay believes that Second Life items are actually owned by the seller. Now the third-party sites like IGE and Guy4Game are poised to make millions where eBay has left off. Should virtual transactions be allowed by eBay? Is the developer of World of Warcraft, Blizzard, pressuring eBay to ban these auctions because it violates their terms of service? Or are they just setting the stage to get their fair share of profits? This auction has expired. It's The Loop. Joining us via satellite tonight from Chicago, author of Play Money, Julian DeBell is here, and from San Francisco, associate editor for CNET and co-host of CNET's podcast, Buzz Out Loud, Veronica Belmont. Welcome to The Loop, everybody. All right,
Hi.
Some gamers up in arms, others celebrating the fact that eBay has banned these auctions. Veronica, what say you? Is this a good thing or a bad thing for gamers and for Blizzard and for eBay?
I think it's a really good thing for gamers, actually, and maybe it's just me, but I think that it's cheating. I mean, everyone else is trying to build up their characters and get the best gear, and then someone comes along who just bought something on eBay, and then, you know, all your hard work looks like it was for nothing.
Isn't that the excuse that poor people use, though, really, Veronica?
I don't know about that. I think it's the excuse that good gamers use.
Oh, that's fair. Julian, what do you say about this here? Is this a good thing?
I think it's a bad thing. We can debate whether, you know, the so-called real money trading, the trade in virtual items, is good or bad in itself, and we probably will. But the great thing about eBay was it was a place that, you know, players could sell directly to one another. This practice is not going to go away because eBay banned it. It's going to go happen on big third-party retail sites that are run by big middlemen who are going to take a big cut of the profit, and little, you know, the small player is going to be cut out of the market altogether.
Now, Veronica, why do you think eBay decided to ban these listings? They've been going on for a while, and now it seems like just recently the hammer's dropped. What do you think the reason is?
Well, they've had that rule in place for a long time, but I have a feeling that maybe Blizzard or other big companies like Sony may have put a little bit of pressure on them, I'm thinking. I mean, they had to take a first step somewhere if they want to shut down the gold farmers, and I mean, eBay's probably the easiest one to shut down, or at least get them to agree to it.
Julian, you think that's why these auctions suddenly disappeared?
I'd be surprised, actually, if the companies pressured them. The companies have a kind of love-hate relationship, I think, with this whole market. You know, a lot of their players hate it, but a lot of their players use it, and so they want to play both ends of it. So I think, you know, eBay was a nice sort of escape valve. You know, they could say, "Oh, we banned this, but we can't do anything about eBay." I think maybe eBay is sort of calling their bluff and saying,
Veronica,
"You guys
looks like
figure it out."
Veronica's disagreeing here. What's up?
I absolutely disagree. I think Blizzard really does not want people to be using the eBay or any of the other gold farmers or anything like that. I think they want people to play through the game and enjoy the content and have that shared experience of building up your character. I don't think they just want you to go out and do
Veronica,
a shortcut.
maybe, do you think Blizzard might want in on the piece of the estimated $250 million industry, and maybe they'll set up their own auction house?
I don't think so. I don't think Blizzard has much to worry about in terms of money.
It's not the money, but look what happened with Sony Online. They were the first ones to go to eBay and say, "Cut this out, we don't want this happening here." The EverQuest items were wiped out from eBay a long time ago. Well, what happened? Other sites got set up, and finally Sony said, okay, look, a bunch of our players really want this. We're going to set up some servers where people can do this. We're going to take it in-house. They're not doing it to make money. They're doing it because players want it, and they're providing that now.
I don't think it's all about the customer service in this case. I think Sony did it exactly to make money in that case, to be honest. But let's talk about Second Life here, because apparently Second Life is okay. It's the gamers in Second Life, if that's what you even call them. They own the rights. They own the property. That's something that the game specifically states. But now you look at World of Warcraft, and Veronica, some people are saying, I'm the one who invested 60 days or 60 hours of my life into this character. I'm the one who found the sword. I mean, sure, there's a hard drive at a farm somewhere that Blizzard owns, so technically they do own the sword that I quested for, but shouldn't I have the right to sell my hard-earned, character or armor on eBay?
Well, once you accept the terms of service that Blizzard lays out for you in World of Warcraft, I mean, that's their property. In Second Life, at least you do own the intellectual property for the things that you build within that game. But with Blizzard, it's not the same.
Julian, do you think that's going to upset gamers in the near future, that this is happening now, that maybe they've spent years or months of their life building up these characters? Do you think they're going to maybe petition Blizzard to say, hey, look.
Right, but the game's...
This is my game.
They're going to keep kvetching about this the way they always had from both sides of things. But technically, Blizzard is right. Yeah, they've written their terms of service in such a way that they own all this stuff. Well, we can say, yeah, okay, legally that's correct, but is it a good thing? I mean, it's like if the record companies, instead of actually selling you a CD, said, we're actually licensing you to play this on your CD player, but you can't sell it to anyone. You can't, destroy it. Right. You can't do anything of the things that you want to do with it. It's a weird thing.
But doesn't eBay have an obligation to live up to that law?
Well, they clearly think they do, and they have. So I think that's what we're seeing right now.
There are games that do not prohibit this that are being swept in with all of this. The baby's being thrown out with the bathwater. Ultimate Online has never banned this, and now suddenly eBay is volunteering to ban it for them.
All right, Julian and Veronica, I want to thank you guys for joining us today. Thanks for keeping us in the loop. Like, wait a minute, sorry, we're getting word that eBay has actually responded to our loop. Okay, they set up an emergency press conference to defend themselves, apparently. So I guess we're going live now to eBay headquarters for some breaking news.
I'd like to thank members of the press for joining us today in this important announcement regarding eBay's virtual property sales. As you may have heard, the company will no longer be hosting auctions involving what we're calling conflict items.
Oh, no.
Please, you will get a chance to ask questions, please. These conflict items include goods that have been obtained from war-torn areas of Azeroth and the Outland, as well as those items seized during illegal raids, ninja-ing, and genocidal chain quests. This economic conflict has ravaged the land and wreaked havoc in the auction houses. Did you know the normally peaceful Draenei had been systematically slaughtering the ancient Wrathscale Naga Blood Mist Isle? And for what? A pair of leather bracers with a paltry +2 spirit buff. And they're low level too, so you're just going to disenchant them in a day. eBay will no longer be a place for these warlords to peddle their ill-gotten wares. We join with the world community to decry this profiteering. We ask you, is this worth this horrific price? We think not. Questions? You.
Is it true that eBay knew that most epic daggers are attained through a wholesale slaughter of blood elves?
No. eBay was never aware of the origin of these items. In fact, in addition to banning their sale, we have joined with the entertainment community to bring the horrors of Azeroth into the global consciousness. As you know, Bono from U2 has recorded a special ballad called Next Year in Nomergon. And of course, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie have just recently added a new member to their family. It's a gnome. It's an adorable little tyke with innate engineering skills and resistance to arcane magic, and we support them. We do not, however, condone Madonna's illegal adoption of a goblin baby. The adoption laws of Gadgetjan are sketchy at best, just to be clear. So that's all the questions then? All right, good. Thank you all for coming. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for that, eBay.
Attack of the Show, weeknights at 7, only on G4.